Hello there and welcome back. In this video we are going to talk about responses, and we will see how we can use different types of responses in the Litestar framework. So let's get to it. Let's create a script called responses.py, and basically what we would like to do is to import from Litestar the Litestar class, the get function, the media type, and the response class. And from Pydantic we import base model, and from Litestar we import from the status codes the HTTP 202 accepted and the HTTP 302 found. And from Litestar, the data structures, we import the cookie, and from Litestar response import redirect and file. And yeah, so then from typing we import the list, and from random and string we import random and string, and from path lib we import path. So let's create the first context root, which is going to be called resources. And basically what we would like to use is to use a class which is a base model in Pydantic, and we want to create 10 instances of this class, fill it with random data, and return those instances. So first we will have resource which is inheriting from the base model, and this has an ID which is an integer, and name which is a string. Great. Now we can name the function resources, and this will be a list of resources. This resource, no plural. So the resources is going to be a list, and for I in range 10, what we would like to do is to create a resource and append it to the resources list. So basically resources dot append, and we create our resource, and the ID is equal to I, and the name is equal to, basically we want to create random characters from strings, uppercase, digits, and so on, and with the length of 10. So technically we need to use the join function on the random choices, and we say that this comes from the string ASCII uppercase plus string digits, and the k is equal to, what is it equal to, is equal to 10. So do I have all the closing braces? 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. Okay, create our app instance Litestar route handlers, going to get the resources, and if I go ahead and run with UV colon the responses up, we need to install Pydantic. Okay, Yeah, that was not installed in any of the previous videos. So let's visit our application and visit the resources context route. So I forgot to return the resources. Now if we reload it, you can see that we have these resources, and every time I refresh, the name is randomized, which is I think pretty neat. We can check it in raw data. This is a JSON document. Alright, so that's all about it. And if we want, we can enforce a response of type text, because by default, the default media type is JSON. So let's create the following context route. Path equals text, and the media type is equal to media type text. So we specify this argument to the get decorator, and async def text response will return a string, and we return this is a string response, and text response is added to the handlers. And what was the name of the context route? Text. So let's visit the text context route. There we go. Okay, what we also have as an option is to return a response of type message back. It's a more efficient way to respond with JSON or dictionary, if you will. So let's call this message back, and the context route is message back. Let's call this message back, the function, and we will return a dictionary of string and string. And technically we can switch it to hello from message back. And finally we add the message back to the handlers. Message, oh, that was a nice typo. Message back. So MSG pack. So message pack, message pack. Yeah, we have the message pack, the response. Why is it coming back from the text? Message back. Come on. Hello from message pack. Great. For whatever reason, Firefox wants to download it. Anyway. Alright, now we know how we can return message back. The next thing that we would like to do is to return an HTML response. In the previous video, you saw how we can use templates, but now I want to show you how you can return HTML response. So basically, we need to copy this one, and let's call this HTML. and this type is HTML, and this returns a string, and call this HTML response. And technically here we can create a multi-line string, h1, welcome, and the paragraph is going to be Litestar is cool. And let's close this. And now we can add the HTML response to the handlers, and then we can visit the HTML context route. And there we go. This is a nicely rendered HTML. All right. So now we want to see how we can use non-default status code. So let's do it. We will have a context route, and we will call this status codes. And technically, the status code that we want to use is going to be HTTP 202 accepted. And we call this function status codes, and we return a response, or rather a resource. And if we go this way, we can use the resource ID equals 1 and name is equal to 202 HTTP status code, and add the function status codes. And if we run it, what we can do is to pip install requests, and then in Python we import the requests module, and the requests.get should hit the URL http 127.0.0.1 8000 status codes, and you can see that this responded with a 202 because everything went well. And yeah, so that's it for the status codes. Basically, you can use this submodule, and this is basically an enum data structure, and it has these status codes. Okay, so let's see how we can basically redirect here. So what I want to do is to define another function, and let's call this redirect, and I want to redirect to the status codes, or rather to the HTML. So let's call our context route redirect, and here what we would like to do is to use the 302 found as status code, and let's call this red, and we will return a redirect, and then what we would like to do is to return a redirect to the path called HTML. So redirect path HTML, and now we add our function, and if you visit in the browser the redirect context route, it will throw me to the HTML context route. And technically you can see here that we found the redirect context route and we were thrown to the HTML context route. Okay, and as an ending, I want to show you how you can basically upload files to the application. So now, if we go ahead and create our new function with the path file upload, we can define the handle file function, which returns a file, and technically it's not the upload, but rather the download. So we want to return this file that we are editing. So that's why we needed the pathlib. So the path of the file is going to come from the path class. We check the file and resolve its path, and the file name is going to be responses.py. So this way we can serve that file, and we add the handle file function. And yeah, so now if we go and visit the file context route, you can see that it downloaded the responses.py. Let's rename it for consistency's sake to file download. There is going to be another video about uploads. So if I run it, you can see that it downloaded the file. So we served basically the file. And that was all. See you in the next one.